una, dale, pópala. Llame, mira. Se cayó. Dale. Ponle el pie. Ayúdala. Otra vez.
So when I share this clipping or this video, wherein the message was teaching is difficult, or teaching is not easy, or knowledge transference is not that easy, which in a way through this particular video seems funny, and yet in more nuanced ways it tells us that learning or transference of knowledge is actually quite easy and even nuanced. So if we reflect at the video once again, we'll understand that it's actually reflection that is taking place. The kid is reflecting to the teacher what it is learning from the teacher, what it is observing through the teacher. The teacher, who appears to be like a grown-up in this clip, the learner is doing exactly what the teacher is teaching. There is not a single thing that the little kid misses out on what the grown-up is doing. So when they say that kids learn more from our actions rather than our words, it's quite literally pointing it out to that. It's quite literally telling us that kids learn more in implicit ways rather than the explicit ways. That kids are far more observant of our little nuances than we give them credit for. They learn through mimicking. And in a way, the kid is the exact reflection of the grown-up that is standing before her. And maybe it's time that we become aware to kind of reflect on the message, the implicit and the explicit messages that we are passing on to our kids, that we are passing on to our youngsters, that we are passing on to the fastest developing brains. And maybe it's time that we become aware of the kind of messages that they learn, imbibe and embody through our own reactions. Because in this clip, Newton's third law of motion is exactly getting played out. Every action has equal and opposite reaction. And maybe we should then look into our own actions to have a look at our own reactions. Maybe this clip also points out that history keeps repeating itself, but man never learns from it. And maybe it's time that we start learning from our own history, from our own personal stories, his stories. Maybe we should question if we want our personal history to be repeated all over again, or maybe we need to act differently in order to have a different reaction. Because as Albert Einstein had said, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. And unless we want the same results to be repeated over lifetimes, we need to reflect to be able to see what we are co-creating, because the ripple effects of that co-creation are always carried forward for generations and generations together. So maybe the video was then trying to tell us that at times unlearning is actually the highest form of learning, or can be a place of relearning. Let's try and reflect on all of those nuances of learning and unlearning to relearn. Let's try and do that for ourselves, and I will see you once again the next week. Till then, stay tuned in. And guys, if you do like the contents of my videos, please do like, share and subscribe.